Good guy, that Mike Garafolo. A very rare Monday appearance by our friend Mike Garafolo from the NFL Network. And Mike, the Cleveland Browns get the win Sunday, but it was a bizarre situation. Deshaun Watson not under center when the clock ran out. Even though he was cleared by doctors, Cleveland head coach Kevin Stefanski keeps him on the sidelines. Like, this is just a weird I don't get this. What's going on?
Yeah, weird.
Is there more to this than just a coach looking out for the health of one of his players?
Well, it's an ongoing shoulder issue, and you're right. It's weird because he goes out of the game. They check him for a concussion. He clears protocol. Usually that means a guy comes back in, and after the game, it was revealed that he took a shot that really affected that shoulder again. And look, I was told when they were going to put Deshaun Watson back in there to play football, to play quarterback, it was going to mean that he was fully recovered from that shoulder issue and that he was able to throw without pain and to throw with the velocity that he usually throws with. So that's why when he was cleared late in the week last week, it was like, okay, this is going to be the full Deshaun Watson. But then to have that injury again and now maybe sort of reset the clock a little bit. Now, Kevin Stefanski has sort of referred to Watson as day-to-day, but it was mentioned to Stefanski could injured reserve be a possibility, which would knock him out for 4 games. And he didn't really, shoot that down and said, look, he's just basically day-to-day. And so we're going to have to continue to watch this because when you get something this weird, you don't go, oh, okay, we'll just take their word for it. He's okay. No, it's been weird since he was supposed to play a couple of games ago, warmed up, wasn't quite right. There's something going on here with Deshaun Watson that seems to not want to go away. So we'll continue to monitor this one throughout the week for sure.
Mike, we had a trade in the NFL on Monday. The Eagles get listen, their defense looked so good Sunday, shutting down that vaunted Miami offense. And now their defense gets even scarier. They get the former All-Pro safety Kevin Byard from the Titans. So how does Byard help Philly? And, Mike, why did the Titans give him up?
Well, because they're basically out of it at this point, and they're going to look to potentially sell off some parts. And we're going to continue to put our ear to the ground to see if Derrick Henry could be one of those guys that could be moved before next Tuesday's trade deadline. But Kevin Byard was definitely one of the guys that we were looking at. And we were also monitoring the Eagles for a potential move at the safety position. I had been told that they had had conversations with multiple teams checking on different levels of the safety market. When I say levels, there were some guys that basically you'd acquire and know, hey, we're going to have to give this guy a lucrative contract extension at some point. Budda Baker from the Arizona Cardinals would have been one of those. Kyle Duggar from the New England Patriots. He's a younger guy who has already turned down big money from the Patriots. So Kevin Byard allows you, if you're the Eagles, to get a guy at a more reasonable rate. And yeah, he's on the back end of his career at this point, but he's still got some productive football left. He's a really good player. He's a really sound player. He wouldn't get beat over the top as Terrell Edmonds did for the Eagles the other night, which is why he was included, or part of the reason why he was included in this deal. Headed back to Tennessee along with 2 draft picks, a 5th round and a 6th round pick. The Eagles knew they needed to get better at the safety position, but they had poured so much money into their defensive front and their cornerbacks that it wasn't like they had a ton of money to do this. So this one for them made the most financial sense for them, as well as getting a guy that's reliable in Kevin Byard. It's a great ad by Howie Roseman, who, again, does his work at the trading deadline.
All right. Makes perfect sense to me. Now, Mike, as you know, a lot of Canadians interested in the Buffalo Bills. Very popular team, especially in Southern Ontario. And their Jekyll and Hyde season continues. They lose to the Patriots on Sunday. And to make matters worse, Dawson Knox, their talented tight end, looks like he'll be sidelined with a wrist injury. Do I dare start throwing around the word panic, Mike, when it comes to this Bills team?
If they lose on Thursday, you can, because this is a game against a struggling Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that started off so well and then lost back-to-back games at home to get themselves back to 500, now potentially on the wrong side of 500 going up against Buffalo on a short week. But the Bills just haven't looked right since they went to London and then since they came back from London as well, even that victory against the Giants that they had to fight hard for. You're right, Dawson Knox, the tight end, going to be down for an indefinite period of time now as he has to undergo wrist surgery. And Dalton Kincaid, a guy that they drafted this year, knowing that he was going to be a big element at the tight end position. But both of those guys have been playing a lot. So it's not like Kincaid can really just pick up some of the snaps that Knox has been playing. That is a loss for them, as well as Quentin Morris, the 3rd tight end. He's hurt, so they're really banged up at the tight end position. But look, they've got enough weapons. They've got enough talent and depth and experience on this team to get right. And this is a get right week. You're home. The Buccaneers have to travel. You've been in this scenario before, obviously, with this core of players. So I really expect the Buffalo Bills to win this one rather easily and not have to live dangerously as they've done the last couple of weeks, and get right and then get the long mini bye that you get after a Thursday game. I think that's going to be important for a Bills team that needs to self-scout itself and figure out what it is that opposing defenses are doing to short-circuit a normally dynamic offense, Jay.
And Mike, you mentioned it. The Bucs, they're coming off a loss, and they're coming off a loss to the Atlanta Falcons. And Bijan Robinson, he only played 11 snaps in Atlanta's win over Tampa Bay on Sunday. And it's kind of a weird situation. Could the Falcons actually be in trouble with the NFL for how they reported Robinson's status prior to this game?
Potentially, because if it was something that popped up, even during the pregame, a lot of times you'll see a team say, hey, this guy's been added to the injury report if it's 2 to 3 hours before the game. Once you get to inactives, once the team announces inactives 90 minutes before the game, it's usually, okay, if a guy's not feeling great, you don't have to report it at that point. But this seems to be something where even the night before, Bijan Robinson telling the reporters that he felt a little bit off at that point as well. So the NFL is going to dig in on this one and try to find out who knew what when. And if the Falcons did know the night before the game that their running back wasn't feeling well, and then his status for the game was affected by it, then yeah, that's usually a violation of the injury report policy. So it could be some sort of reprimand toward the Falcons. Nothing that really would affect them overall with regard to competitive advantage. The NFL, a lot of times in this case, will resort to fines, so we'll report that if and when that does come down. But yeah, it was a weird situation for Bijan Robinson to not play much of the game, then come in for a play late in the game when the Falcons thought they needed something here. So yeah, we'll continue to monitor this one, and we'll see if Bijan Robinson starts to feel better as the week goes on and has a normal week of practice, Jay.
Listen, it's important if you're not feeling well, just sit out like I did last week for 3 shows. Mike, we showed your Philadelphia Phillies earlier in the program. They came up a little flat in Game 6 on Monday against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So Game 7, first ever Game 7 for the Phillies on Tuesday night. I know you'll be watching. I'm giving you the floor. How confident are you in your Phillies?
Yeah, I kind of wish for a lot of you watching at home that there was a Game 7 back in 1993. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Congratulations to you. Belated congratulations to you folks. But yeah, I'm confident in large part because Ranger Suarez is a cool customer, as cool as it gets. Obviously, he is going to need some help. They're going to need to dig into the full bullpen. I do love the way that this team has bounced back from some of the moments where we thought that they were potentially dead and not being able to come back. So that was a lifeless performance that we saw in Game 6. I got the utmost confidence our guys are coming back in Game 7.
Mike will be crushing probably 1 cheesesteak for every inning played in that game, and I'm looking forward to that. And I hope
I'll be crushing something every inning, Jay. I guarantee you that.
Good luck to your Phillies,
especially because you gave me the night off tomorrow. So thank you very much.
Yes, we did. So we'll try to monitor you on social media, Mike. But good luck to your Phillies, and thanks for this, buddy. We do appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend.
We'll be back with plenty more, including all the Manning brothers were in action again on Monday.